All right, so so not just you, Tom Cruise, but also who else? He's making a lot of money. Christian Bale. Christian Bale. I imagine that you made a lot of money for appearing in The Dark Knight. Now, Mr. Bale, like, I know you're probably out there looking for something that isn't total trash. I have all of it. So, let's see. I would like to shoot an adaptation of Imagica, starring you, Mr. Christian Bale, as Gentle and Sartori. So, if you've read Imagica, then you should already know that you're perfect for that role. But aside from that, I need lots of money. So I solved the puzzle of existence, right? Here's how it all played out. I write this, I decide I want to make strictly live-action films. This is coming out of wanting to be an experimental filmmaker, or an experimental animator. I used to build stop-motion animation armatures and sets to accommodate them, but I burned out doing that because I couldn't afford to do it, and like it's just like time-consuming and not really completely fulfilling on a humanistic level. Like it's just me and art supplies, plumber's epoxy and like armature wire and like clay for like months and years. And so like I burned out while trying to get into school. I wanted to go to Cal Arts for experimental animation, but they wanted me to go to a foundation school, and I figured that I could be my own foundation school, but by designing and creating my own armatures. But I was unable to produce a project suitable enough for the admissions people at Cal Arts to feel that I was a capable animator, somebody worthy of paying them $40,000 a year for tuition. So my dad was in Japan as a civilian employee for the Navy at Yokosuka Navy Base, and he calls me up. I was 20 years old at this time, and now I'm 32. He calls me up and he's like, or I call him up and I'm like, Dad, I burned out. I cannot finish this thing. I want to get out of here. And he's like, come out to Japan. You have a free ticket. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that, right? So I moved out to Japan, and with like nothing on my slate. Like I sent off some test footage to Cal Arts, and I was like, I'm not going to get in with that. Fuck it, right? I go off to Japan with nothing on my fucking slate, right? Like I just want to like bum around Tokyo, right? And I'd only been in Japan once before, and that was with my family, and we just went to Tokyo Disneyland, and then maybe a couple of toy stores in the Ginza. Anyway, it all works out to amazing stuff. Those are things in my terminal, I don't know if you know about that stuff yet, but let's see. So they do this weird thing where they're like, you've gotten rid of that, but I'm the thing, and I get rid of that. I'm a new thing, They're weirdos, but I've managed them, so. All right, so so I'm in Japan, right? And I see Contact. This is like 97, right? And Contact's very interesting because it's one of those tier 1 movies that kind of like tries to bring people into tier 2 without drugs, right? And it's like, I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but tier 1 is like kickball, freeze tag. Tier 1 is like kickball. The spirit world's giving me some grief because I'm not being the most eloquent speaker right now. You have to understand, I don't have any notes or anything. I'm just going on like my perception of things. So it's like, I need money, and I'm thinking Tom Cruise has a lot of money, right? And like also Keanu Reeves. Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, Christian Bale. You guys have a lot of cash. So I didn't immediately think of Christian Bale. I thought of Heath Ledger, because there was a big stink about how much Heath Ledger was going to be making for appearing in The Dark Knight, and then he dies, and it's like, where's all that money gonna go, right? It goes to his kid, right? Go away. What? Hi. He just wants to be in film. So like, you know, there's like, Heath Ledger has made like, you know, a lot of money from The Dark Knight, right? Where does that money go? He's dead. Heath Ledger dies, right? Where does Heath Ledger go? Into the dream world with everyone else, right? However, since I'm doing this constantly, you know, he pops into my terminal, right? And he's like, who the fuck are you, right? What is this shit, right? And it's like, you know, this is like 2000, this is like 2007, right? I'm like doing my thing. This is like 2 years. This is about 2 years after I solved the puzzle, right? Like, I solved the puzzle, everything opens up, everyone's like, who the fuck are you, how do you know all this stuff, and how are you doing this? And I'm like, get lost. I'm doing this because I figured everything out. I figured everything out that people just theorized, that the character, Jesus Christ, in the book, in the short story collection that we just refer to as the Bible, theoretically figured out. Kind of missed out on the beginning of that sentence. These flies are going fucking nuts. Anyway, so I figured everything out that people just theorized, that the character, Jesus Christ, or Jesus of Nazareth, figured out in the short story collection that we call the Bible, or the New Testament portion of the short story collection called the Bible. So let's see. So I think of Tom Cruise, and then I'm like, who else has money? Heath Ledger has money, right? Heath Ledger's dead, right? Yes, he's dead, but he's still out there, right? He still exists. He still exists as an immortal being, right? Where does he go? He goes into the dream world, obviously. Most people don't realize this for odd reasons, spirit world meddling, but most people don't realize this, but the people that you see and interact with in your dream world excursions are real people. They're spirits. So when people die, they go into the dream world. All right? That's one huge piece of the puzzle. 2. Okay, I haven't gotten to 2 yet. Hold on.